Councilwoman Sanchez, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
The Rent Guidelines Board, they were faced with really a tough decision. You just heard the mayor. He called it a win-less situation. So how do you feel about the vote to raise rents?
Yeah, it was a difficult situation. As you heard from landlords in previous segments, they are facing increased costs, right? But the bottom line here was that when you compare the plight of renters and the plight of low-income renters, like the ones that I represent in District 14, which is in the Bronx, they are destabilized. They are just struggling so hard and in so much pain. And there isn't a day, Ayana, that in my office I don't have constituents entering and saying, Pierina, what am I supposed to do? What kind of choice do I have to face? Do I pay my utilities? Do I buy food and feed my children, or do I keep up with my rent payments?
Right. So Councilmember, then practically, what options are available for those tenants who are already struggling to pay and they're now faced with an impending increase?
Well, first, I condemn the decision of the Rent Guidelines Board to vote in this way. The steepest increase in a decade is completely unconscionable in this context. But the current renters, we have to continue fighting. So we're going to do a couple of things. One is that we have to, as the mayor said in his statement, we have to continue to fight for more subsidies for those lowest income households. Because even with the data that the Rent Guidelines Board used, what we're seeing is that those that are struggling the most are the lowest income New Yorkers. When you look at the vacancy rates for the apartments that are affordable to the lowest income New Yorkers, you have a less than 1% vacancy rate. That rate is completely different if you're a high income earner. You know, if you're paying a higher rent, you're okay. You're okay for the most part, right? And so we have to make sure that we're subsidizing these folks. That's rent supports. We have to build more affordable housing. And for those renters who are in a unit that somehow, miraculously, they're very lucky and their rents are still affordable, we have to be super vigilant and make sure that the quality of those units is still up to par, that they're living in dignity and in healthy housing.
And so when those constituents stop by your office, what advice are you giving them? What other affordable housing options are out there? And are there more options coming down the line?
Absolutely. So we kind of treat this in some ways, bear with me in an analogy, it's kind of like a hospital situation. When you go to the emergency room, if you have a gunshot wound, we have to serve you, we have to be with you immediately, right? But if you have a longer term issue, maybe down the line, you're going to fall into arrears, then we have a different solution set. So if you are today facing arrears, today you have an eviction notice, come to our office, we can connect you with nonprofits. If we cannot help, but we can, come to our office and we'll make sure to connect you with a one-shot deal. That is where the city helps you immediately. There's also additional funding that has come through the state for the ERAP program, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, that also helps with back rent. Now, there's also $237 million that I fought for very, very hard in the council to put into the city's voucher programs. So we're going to make sure that if you can access those, that you are able to get into an apartment. There's a lot of discrimination with vouchers. So there's a number of things that we can do if you come to our offices, all of our elected officials, to help you out.
Councilmember Pierina Sanchez, I want to thank you for your time and for coming on Picks on Politics.